So, hopefully, you saw yesterday when I posted my review for the season 5 premiere of the Harley Quinn animated series. If you haven't, then please go check it out. The show is great, so if you haven't seen it, go watch the show, season 5 premiere, and then go watch my review and breakdown. I spent some time talking about it, and I'd like to talk about it with you guys, join in on the conversation in the comments. But one of the things I talked about in this video, right up front, is even though the season's already started and I'm a little bit behind, I still want to do a trailer breakdown because I still want to talk about this trailer, which I will be honest, slightly regretting that now because I went back and watched the trailer again. And I was like, wait a second. Most of this trailer is in the first episode. So I've pivoted a bit, and this is still technically a trailer breakdown, but I'm not going over any of the parts that were in episode 1 because, we already saw the episode, and I already did a whole video talking about the first episode. So this video, as you can tell from the thumbnail, is really putting the main focus on Red X, which is the big thing I want to talk about anyway. There's a few other small things in here as well, but that will be the focus of our video. So cool. Okay, let's do this, I suppose. Yeah, Red X again, that's going to be the focus. We'll get into that in a bit. First of all, Bane's back, baby. Bane is honestly maybe the best thing to come out of this Harley Quinn series. He obviously was also in Kite Man as well, and played a very large role in that series, from what I saw, because as I talked about in my video yesterday, I didn't finish watching Kite Man season 1, but Bane is hilarious in the show, and what I really love about his appearance in this trailer is it confirms that he still has his same girlfriend from the Valentine's Day special, which also, shout out to the Valentine's Day special. I love that thing. It's so fun. It's so funny. It's hilarious. I watch it on Valentine's Day every year now. I think I may even this year watch it with my girlfriend who has never seen an episode of Harley Quinn and really doesn't know a whole lot at all about DC Comics, but I feel like maybe that Valentine's Day special for Harley Quinn can work without the knowledge of the show and of these DC characters, and just the wildness of Bane in that episode is hilarious. So I love that, continuity, guys. We actually have some his girlfriend returning, because I don't believe, again, at least as far as I saw in the Kite Man series, that he ever showed up there. Another thing I want to point out actually is, first of all, obviously, it's great that he's back in season 5. He's been a prominent role in all of these seasons. I did watch a review from somebody who has seen the full season already and has said that this is actually season 5. Bane probably has the least amount of screen time that he has compared to previous seasons, which is a little unfortunate, but makes sense, again, given the fact that he had such a large role in Kite Man, and also kind of makes me start thinking, because I was just thinking about, as I was saying, he's one of the greatest things to come out of this Harley Quinn show, is this adaptation of Bane, is I was thinking about also, obviously, Kite Man as well falls into that category of just such a great characterization of Kite Man, and obviously that led to him getting his own spin-off. And we have heard some rumblings that another spin-off from this Harley Quinn series is officially in development, and if Bane is going to have a much smaller role in this series, that also kind of reminds me a bit of Harley Quinn. I believe it was season 3, maybe it was season 4, but I think it was season 3, where Kite Man had a very, very small appearance in that season. It was either right at the beginning or right at the end, and that was because they were saving that character very much for his spin-off show. And this almost kind of makes me think, are we getting a Bane spinoff? Because honestly, besides Bane, like, who else would you focus on? I really don't know. But a Bane solo series, it could crash and burn, sort of like the Kite Man thing did, because I think Kite Man definitely works better as a side character, and it didn't really work out him being in the leading role. But Bane, I don't know. Maybe. Because definitely when he has his solo adventures, they're pretty entertaining. And this, I could see that that's where this is going. But anyway, we also have some of our other big returning characters. Frank, of course, is back. We have Ivy obviously having a pretty large role here because she's like the co-lead of the show. I love that we're getting she's helping out with the Greenery Foundation in Metropolis. That's great to see. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her relationship with Lena Luthor. We saw that partnership sort of blossom in the first episode. The return of King Shark as well is obviously very exciting. The only thing that sucks with these this original supporting cast from the first two seasons, which it's crazy how Harley Quinn went from having like one of the best supporting casts in television to now seasons later barely one, because most of those characters left the show and have now very small like guest roles basically. Like now that King Shark's a father, he's not as good of a character, and his kids are mostly annoying. And same thing honestly goes for Clayface as well, which I love Clayface just as a DC Comics character. But his characterization, this adaptation of the character, like the first two seasons, again, it was decent, like it wasn't bad. But as the seasons have gone on, he's just gotten more annoying and more again, just too much and not really funny anymore, which is disappointing because I love Alan Tudyk and I would love to see more of him on the show, but things are just different from how the show used to be, unfortunately. I really don't think we'll ever be able to get back to that truly peakness of season 1 and 2, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Brainiac obviously is the main villain of this season. I love that he has his little monkey as well. That's a pretty deep cut to the comics, so I love that. It's also been said that we're going to be getting sort of the origins of Poison Ivy and getting more of her history and her past, and so I love that we're getting that element in this season. And then of course that brings us to Red X, which again is sort of the big talking point of this series. My jaw dropped when I saw Red X in this trailer. I was so freaking excited because I grew up with that original Teen Titans cartoon, and even when Red X popped up on Teen Titans Go, I have the Red X Funko Pop from Teen Titans Go, and I love it. Red X is just such a cool character design, and I really wish there was more done with the character. Obviously, for those that don't know who Red X is and the history of this character, original character from that early 2000s Teen Titans cartoon, Red X, he didn't debut in the comics, he debuted on this cartoon series, and spoiler alert for his character in this series, but it was basically revealed to be Dick Grayson, aka Robin, who of course was the leader of the Teen Titans at the time, but he used this persona of Red X to go undercover and try and gather intel about Slade, aka Deathstroke, but he didn't tell the rest of the Teen Titans about it. So it was this big mystery of who's under the mask. We find out is Dick Grayson. It's a character that I really wish more was done with in the comics. The character's since been introduced in the comics, but not really a whole lot has been done with him. There's been a couple different iterations, but again, just not a whole lot with Red X. So I really love that we're going to be getting him in this series. And again, one of the big fun elements of Red X is not only just this super dope design, but also again the mystery of who's under the mask. And I feel like this may be too obvious, but at the same time, like it may be so obvious that that's just the case. And maybe I'm just a really good theorist. Who knows? But I feel like it's got to be Dick Grayson. Because obviously Dick Grayson is Nightwing in Harley Quinn, and he was killed off last season in season 4 by Harley Quinn. And it was this big thing. And then we were left with this cliffhanger at the end of season 4 that Damian Wayne brought Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, to the Lazarus Pit, and he was brought back to life. Now, obviously, we know the Lazarus Pit, it's sort of a pet cemetery effect on you. You are brought back to life for sure, but you're very messed up. Obviously, as we see with the Red Hood storyline and what happened to Jason Todd. I don't know if we've done the Lazarus Pit with Dick Grayson before in the comics. But I think that it makes sense that if we bring him back here, that he would be Red X, because we've seen no other signs of him being included in the season. Although it could be another thing like the Gotham City Sirens that was set up at the end of the season and is just going to be thrown away real quick. Who knows? But I feel like it has to be Dick Grayson. It's a great homage to the original identity of Red X and just makes sense for where they're taking his character. We haven't seen Red Hood in this series, so we don't know if Red Hood even exists. I would assume he does, because of where we're at in the timeline and having Damian Wayne as Robin, and all that. But then again, it seems like Brainiac and Superman have never met. So obviously this universe, as I talked about in my review, there's no rules. Like, there's nothing off limits. The universe is not exactly like it is in the DC Comics universe. It's all over the place. But this is definitely my theory that Dick Grayson, Nightwing, is going to be our Red X, which I'm really excited for. Again, just some more Bane action. Great to see. Joker's back as well. Love that. And we have a musical number, maybe, with Clayface dressed as Brainiac. So that's cool, I suppose. But again, really not a whole lot in this trailer, I guess, now looking back. But I really love the Red X stuff going on here. And some of the other elements as well. Maybe we'll get that Bane spinoff. That could be fun. But Red X, I'm very, very excited for. Brainiac, and just everything else we have in store for this season of Harley Quinn Season 5. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video. And hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.